and welcome to the Upper Deck. I'm Lynn. Right next to me is Sierra. And boy, oh boy, has it been a week, and we got so much to talk about and so much to look ahead to talk about. It's hard to know where to start, but I know where we could start with Spencer's trivia question of the week. And here we go. The Yankees just secured their 33rd consecutive winning season, a great accomplishment. The last game of their last losing season was on October 4th, 1992. Who was the team they played, and what was the final score? So I'm going to leave that up for a quick second. If you have, this is a double answer here. So if you even get one of these answers, you win. Bonus points if you get both. And as always, we'll give you the answer on the end at the end of the show. So let's see who are the early attendees. John the Beagle Dad won. He was so early that he could be late for the next 5 shows and still be early to all of them. But so good for you, John and Jonathan. Good to see you, Michael, Lori, FJ. Lori has like a question mark after Boston. Yeah, I always have question marks after Boston, but lots of questions. Ken, good to see you. And Karen, hey. All right, so before we could talk about Boston, and I know we're all chomping at the bit with that, let's look in the mirror. What do you want to say, Sierra, about the week that was?
So we always kick off Sundays with the rear view, right? And it's a week, so like you never know how it's gonna go. Once this week started, I was like, oh man, Sunday is gonna be rough because Tuesday and Wednesday the Tigers came into Yankee Stadium and put up what's 11 plus 12, a lot of runs. Okay, went into the third game and I was like, please, for the love of all things, do not let the Detroit Tigers come into Yankee Stadium and sweep them, because I know Gleyber Torres is over there laughing his ass off right now at this. Thankfully, the Yankees did not get swept. They won the third game 9-3 on September 11th. So it was only fitting that they won on September 11th in New York, right? Very poetic that Aaron Judge, Team USA captain, hit 2 home runs. Listen, stop the count. He is the AL MVP. I don't care about Cal Raleigh and his big dumper. I do not. Because outside of home runs, his stats suck. His average sucks. His on-base percentage sucks. His slugging percentage sucks. His OPS sucks. And you know what? He doesn't even have the best big dumper in the league. So my MVP is Aaron Judge. 10 on 10, no notes. But with that being said, they rolled on to Boston. Really was not sure what to expect because the Yankees were 2-8 going into this series against Boston. Thank God we've already won the series, so this is not a rubber game match today. But I really, truly hate playing Sunday Night Baseball because I feel like the Yankees just do not do a good job, especially when it's against Boston. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's on ESPN, and they don't do good on ESPN either. So praying that the baseball gods can just change all of our luck today, just keep the momentum rolling, because right now, in the last 2 weeks, the Yankees are 7-4. If they come out of this 8-4 in the last 12 games, that is a huge momentum boost. Now, the Blue Jays, unfortunately, keep winning, so the Yankees can't gain any more momentum. They're still stuck 3 games back, and the stupid Blue Jays won again today. But overall, I guess it was a decent week. They're 3-2 right now. Let's come out as 4-2, and I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah, I'd be even happier if we, not just sweep, but like the highest power Dyson vacuum that exists, I hope, sucks them all up in that way, spits them out onto the street. So here's well, it's not Sierra and me looking at the lineup, but it's our.
It looks like me. That's the same expression.
But this lineup raises a few questions, starting with Austin Slater. Really? Austin Slater, who has had 14 at-bats with the Yankees? Why? This is like the prize spot. are you going to tell me it's a left, right, left thing? Because the math's not mathing. The logic isn't logicking. Why is Austin Slater? Someone tell me. Why is he?
So I looked at this lineup immediately. I was like, bleh. But then I looked back to the September 11th lineup, and he led off then too. I have no idea why. I honestly forgot he was on the team. I forgot the Yankees traded for him because he got injured right away, and then when he came back from being injured, he didn't play. It is a weird looking lineup. And as much as I want to complain, every time I complain, they go out and put up 27 runs. So maybe I should complain actually, because maybe my complaining like gets to them. I'm happy to finally see Ahmed Rosario getting some playtime and seeing McMahon on the bench, because I'm sorry, he just isn't doing it for me. Also, obviously Caballero's in the lineup, not because they're sitting Volpe for stinking, but because he's injured. Either way, happy to see him take over the position. Happy to see what he can do. I'm not too thrilled about Goldie being in the lineup, if I'm being fully honest with everybody. He just hasn't. I know that there was like an injury that he was nursing, or a semi-injury, because he never hit the IL, but he just hasn't looked the same recently. And I'd rather see. I know Ben needs some work at first base. Okay, I know he does. I would rather see him at first and I can't even believe I'm saying this, and put freaking Wells back behind the plate, just to have. At least Wells might give you a home run. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Goldie's going to do, so hopefully he's feeling better today. I don't know, man.
I hope so, because, it's starting to look like he's gold-plated, not solid Goldie lately.
Poor Goldie.
So, poor Goldie.
I mean, he is 39 years old, so like if his knee was bothering him, it's going to take him longer to recover than like if Ben Rice hurt his knee.
Yeah. Hey Jordan, good to see you. And hey, Healing Men's Hearts, good to see you too. So
I thought that said Healing Mets Hearts when I first read his name, and I was like, oh, that's so sad. But
I'm sure that has to be a name for somewhere out there. But yeah, so okay, it's good to know that one time, Michael, that Slater hit leadoff in one game against the Tigers.
That was on 9/11.
Yeah, right. Yeah, recently. So, but we have a very small sample size on the guy. So it's not like I could, really defame him at the moment, but also we have a small sample size on this guy. Why is he leading off?
Either win froze or I froze.
What? Say that again? Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me, Sierra? Hello?
I think I'm frozen.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Karen, for letting. And all right. I was just putting here because I spelled it wrong, which is like a horror for me. It's now you can't hear me or Sierra. Oh gosh. Okay. Please stand by.
Am I back?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
I can hear you, but my screen is black. So if you guys can't see me, I apologize. I killed a spider before we went live, and I think that he might have like sent his family to like mess with my Wi-Fi or something. I don't know what happened.
I can testify to the moment the spider arrived in Sierra's presence. If there was video footage, I would share it.
Oh my god, I would die of embarrassment. Anyway.
Anyhow, now I'm sure neither one of us know where we left off.
Austin Slater, and he led off on November. Oh my god, September 11th. So the Yankees have made him lead off on September 14th because they think he's some miracle worker. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. In the meantime, while we were trying to figure things out, Shayna walked in, and so good to see you in the house, and we're so glad to be heard. Everybody needs to be heard.
I need Shayna's ray of sunshine today because
oh well,
my MVP Joe Burrow got injured today, and it just kind of ruined my whole Sunday. So I need that extra positivity today.
Yeah. Let's all sprinkle that on Sierra. Meanwhile, my MVP, Josh Allen, broke his nose and had a friggin' what looks like a tampon stuck up his nostril and went back in after, like, he missed maybe two plays on the field. Show me a baseball player in any universe that would happen to, and he would, like, go back out, the next inning. It's just such a difference. And Karen says this to me all the time about hockey players and football players.
Oh, God, yeah.
How easily these baseball players, break a fingernail and they're on the IL for 12 years. And there's my MVP. With
oh, my God.
Nose. Yeah, I'll get that x-ray later. So anyway, Donnie Clark is here. Good to see you. Shayna, you're a Bills fan now. I love you even more. Yes. The real New York team won today. Although I know there's Jet fans probably lurking around. So I do apologize, but I'm happy. Anyway, so let's get down to some of our Oh, Michael first wants to know how serious is the Burrow injury.
I was just going to type into the chat because I didn't want to overtake the Yankee show.
That's okay. That's okay.
So,
matters.
Michael, I didn't see any update after the game. It looked like, just by the way he landed, it looked like it was his ankle, or it could be his toe. Turf toe has been unfortunately going around, the league. My poor Brock Purdy is out with that right now. Either way, if the Bengals are listening, your O-line is trash, and that's why Joe Burrow is hurt. So please assign somebody else. Hopefully we get some news soon.
And Donnie, I'd prefer if you're able to say that the Yankees took 3 out of 3. So let's manifest that. Yes, we're happy at the moment. Oh, but it's all about that sweep tonight, I think. Come at me if you disagree. All right. So the first thing I want to say on hot topics here is how hot in the most adorable way is Anthony Rizzo. Leaving baseball, going off into the great golf course of his life, and doing it with such class. And if anyone's upset with him retiring as a Cub, get your head on straight. He was only with us for a few years. It was a few glorious years. He made a lot of impact with us. Let's just congratulate the guy. He was so fun during yesterday's game. If any of you caught the footage of the whole thing in the stands, and he missed the home run ball, but there he is congratulating the guy that caught it. And I just love that he was wearing the jersey that had the signatures of all the cancer patients he's met over the years through his charity work. So it's just we've missed him, and it's sad that we didn't get like a period at the end of his New York Yankees sentence. And we've all been through that 1,000 times on this show, the injustice of that. But hopefully he will now have a happy, healthy life, and do what he wants to do. So, yeah, Donnie Clark, Sierra, do you agree? Who isn't scared of Crochet?
Crochet is going to be tough, but I do want to comment on the result because
go ahead.
Most of you guys know I live in Chicago. He means so much to the city of Chicago, specifically the Cubs fan base, obviously. So the North Siders. Just to see a former Major League Baseball player, only 1 year removed, by the way, so still very recent, still very popular, in the bleachers, just like a normal fan, without like security, like right next to him, protecting him, was such just like an amazing moment. First of all, it was great for baseball, but I think I live in Chicago and people constantly speak poorly about Chicago. So just like seeing that side of it to me was just such a heartfelt moment. And it just, I couldn't help but laugh when he's sitting there heckling Ian Happ, just like a regular baseball fan would. Ian Happ threw him a baseball with $100 bill, by the way. I thought that was hilarious. And he signed the baseball. Like, it was amazing. And, you know, Rizzo got to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the 7th inning stretch, which is amazing. Like, just, I keep saying amazing. That's my favorite word today. He did a beer snake with the fans in the bleachers. He bought a round of beer for the bleachers. And then he was in the left field bleachers and they were like competing with the right field bleachers. It was just so fun. And it just, when you see baseball players actually like their human side, it makes you remember why you watch this game. It is a child's game. It is a family fun event. So like just getting to see that and see Rizzo experience that. And I agree. He should 100% retire as a Cub because he had his career in Chicago. Yes, he was great for the Yankees. And unfortunately, his career ended early, in my opinion, because of the New York Yankees medical staff. But it is what it is. It was just a really great, heartfelt moment for Rizzo.
So I'm hopefully assuming correctly that not everyone knows what a beer snake is. So
okay, I'll explain it. Okay,
yeah, please
so
do.
I don't know if I've been to plenty of stadiums, so I don't know what stadiums do this and which ones don't. But Wrigley, if you've never been to Wrigley, it has amazing atmosphere. Okay, what they do in the bleachers is as you finish a beer, your fellow bleachers, people around you and Yankee Stadium bleacher creatures, you stack your cups up and then you like it snakes through the bleachers and like goes through the bleachers. Like it's just a bunch of drunk people putting their cups together. That's what a beer snake is. So Rizzo got to experience that yesterday for the first time as a fan.
It sounds so cool. I'm mad that I've never taken part in that before. I mean, I'm gonna have to like call my sorority and say why weren't we made to do that? Like sorority behavior. So yes, absolutely, Donnie. You read my notes for today. Yes, absolutely was good to see. All right, so the regular season ends on 9/28, like we all know, and so counting tonight, there's 14 games left. So the teams we're going to be facing, I'm not saying that I'm not doing any of that. Oh, we have a lighter lineup ahead of us because that has zero not worked out for us this season. All the ones that we thought would be easy spanked us. But we have next after tonight's game, we have the Twins, Orioles, White Sox, and then the Orioles again because why not? And then the Red Sox face the Jays next and also have other, more challenging teams after that. So what are our odds of getting even further distance from the Red Sox, even if we don't catch up or surpass the Jays? How are we feeling about the next 14 games?
This is how I feel about this final race that we're in, right? Currently, we're 3 games behind the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays and the Red Sox have to face each other. Well, we get to face Baltimore twice. On paper, we have an easier schedule than the other 2 teams. And I don't care what anyone says. If you're not looking at Boston and Toronto's schedule and scoreboard watching, you are lying to yourselves. This is it. Like the season's coming to an end. There's like 14, 15 games left. We're all watching the scoreboard, right? Because we want to know where we're seated for the playoffs. Because right now, if the playoffs end today, we are the wild card and we're playing Boston. But when Boston and Toronto play each other, if either team sweeps, like it can be a huge difference in what happens for this picture, right? So I guess all I can say is the Yankees have to focus on what's in front of them. They play the White Sox again. They play the Orioles twice. Do what you're supposed to do and win those games. Let Toronto and Boston battle it out and keep your eyes on the prize. Because who knows, at the end of this 14 games, the Yankees could be in first place.
Yeah. the of the 14 games still ahead of us, one of them is obvious. Tonight we know it's away. It's a total of 8 games away, and then the last 6 at home.
Yep.
So
Twins, Orioles, White Sox, Orioles again.
Right. So and the record, I think, is fairly it isn't as wide as it's been in other seasons. I think it's pretty equal, their record away versus home, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah.
So, but like you were saying, Sierra, there's the graphic of what you just said. So, if
Boston gets swept by the Blue Jays, they could just be completely out of the playoffs. They're tied for the last spot right now with Houston. So, my bestie Jacob, always in my brain. They could just get knocked out completely, and we could see the Rangers or the Guardians instead, depending on what they do. It'll be interesting because Boston has a tougher schedule for the rest of the year. Toronto has a tougher schedule for the rest of the year. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe they both also play the Orioles. So if the Orioles want to play some good baseball for like those couple of games and help us out, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying.
I like what you're throwing down. I like the possibility of Toronto losing steam and facing some people that are going to really challenge them. I think this, Sierra, because it's come up before. The Guardians, I do not sleep on whatsoever.
Never.
So ever. So I frankly just from, maybe it's short-term memory, but I'd almost rather face the Red Sox again than face the Guardians. So, and it's a postseason thing too. The Guardians have not been cooperative with us about our desires to win it all. So, Donnie, I think the Red Sox, Yankees, ALCS would be great.
Only if we get like the true rivalry, right? Like I want the A-Rod, Derek Jeter, Jason Varitek, Big Poppy days. That's what I want. We don't get that anymore. And I love Judge. I love Giancarlo. I love most of the team we have right now. But I need a guy like Caballero to go out there and start a fight and ignite the rivalry. That's what I need. I want that old school Boston, New York rivalry because it just hasn't been the same. Part of it, I think, is because neither team has been good at the same time in recent years. But with the race being so close and it being like the last part of the season, if that's who we're going to play in the wild card, let's make it spicy. Let's make it fun.
Right.
Let's make it worth it.
So let's all think about how we could stir the pot, and we could talk about that next week. Because
let me call Jazz real quick. He can help me.
Yeah, seriously, if anyone could tell us, Jazz can. But yeah, we need a little bit of that. And this team, I don't know, they don't feel cohesive. It's not the same vibe I've been getting from that dugout. And I don't know if it's a mixture of young and older. I don't know. It's like, Devers is gone and Bregman is here. And it just seems to me that like, they're not like a jolly, they put the stupid mascot head on, when somebody got a home run, big whoop. But I don't know. I hope that divided they fall because they don't seem
FJ's over here throwing out names of people like they were like 78 before I was even born, FJ. I never saw those people play.
Karen saying neither of those teams have gritty players, but Karen, I think Caballero is a very encouraging sign. I mean, hell, he already got ejected for mouthing back at an umpire. Like it was like his second game with us.
He's got ejected twice, and the second one, the one in Houston, cracked me up because the one in Houston. Listen, my guy Caballero, he had a good point. How can you see the ball hit me, see me strike out, see what's going on at third base, see what's going on with the catcher. Like, how can you see all of that? You can't. So let's not pretend you can, because your umping has been trash.
Yeah. I like Caballero. I'm very excited to see what he has coming up. Seeing him more, and maybe I'll like to see more of Slater once I see something of Slater. Maybe I'll love him by the end of tonight, but I still don't understand that. Maybe I'll understand it after. My last thought is that this, this is where Spencer, when I got his trivia question, I'm like, man, I don't know what it is about Google Docs and all of the, all the people that could see my notes, but it's like he reads my notes because this is the 33rd consecutive winning season for the Yankees. So, we've been over 500 all that time since 1992. And I seem to recall several World Series at some point in that span. So that's a good record. We just and we're clearly got it again this year, but it's just something else to note. But there's nothing to note like a World Series trophy.
We're in a drought, so let's get it. Before we move on to news and views and hot stuff, I want to talk about Anthony Volpe because yes, because he has been the easy knot all season, and I'm guilty of it. I have picked on Volpe all season, and I'm not trying to let him off the hook, right? Because who knows? I'm just gonna yap for a minute here, guys. So just parting my yapping. So the Yankees came out. It was Wednesday or Thursday. It was Thursday. Thursday, 9/11, they came out and said Volpe was getting a cortisone shot, or he had a cortisone shot. There was no news before this. He had that pop in his shoulder back on May 3rd. Nothing came of that, ever. Nothing ever came of that. So he gets the cortisone shot. Now it comes out, he's been dealing with a partial left labrum tear. Let's look at Volpe's season as a whole. Volpe has a 2020 season going for him. And when I say 2020 season, I'm referring to his errors and his home runs. Now, his left shoulder, that is his glove hand, so it's not necessarily what he's throwing with. But I was telling Lynn before we hopped on. So I tore my rotator cuff when I was in high school. I had to have surgery. And I know before the surgery, I was overcompensating with the other side of my body. Part of me is wondering if Volpe is doing the same thing, and then it's also affecting him mentally. So I did a deep dive into his numbers through May 3rd and then since May 3rd. So his slash line through May 3rd, and while it's not super sexy, it's much better than it was now. We're looking at 233 batting average, 326 on base percentage, and a 442 slugging. Over 33 games, he had 10 doubles, 5 home runs, and 19 RBI. Since May 3rd, Volpe has a 197 batting average, a 248 on base, and a 378 slugging. So all of his slash line, the whole thing just tanked, went off the cliff. Through 108 games, 19 doubles, so only 9 more. 4 triples, 14 homers, 51 RBI. I mean, I'm just yapping. I'm not the medical staff. Is his injury actually affecting him more this season than what they're letting on? Was he more injured than what they let on? Is he overcompensating? Is that why he's making so many errors? Because if you look at the errors he's making, he's not overthrowing them. He's bouncing them in the dirt when they're throwing errors. And when they're fielding errors, he's struggling. He doesn't know where to step. He doesn't know when to go back. He doesn't know when to slide. Did the Yankees ruin this kid's season and really ruin the way that the rest of the fan base looks at him by doing so?
I think that's a fair question, and one that we could speculate on, and using past examples come up with a theory. But meanwhile, I'm looking in the chat, and I didn't know. I'm feeling like Lori and Donnie were MLB players because, my goodness, the injuries. I'm sorry you guys went through all of that. They're commiserating with Volpe, and so that sure is a lot. And yeah, Lori, absolutely. We know that the medical staff is sus. Yeah. Well, Volpe is a grown man. I'm not sure I've seen facial hair yet, though. But he's officially a grown man. But so is Rizzo. I don't know what's keeping these guys quiet. Um, I don't know if they're afraid of their image, but if they were so afraid of their image, it's a catch-22, I guess. But fucking out there in public, so that's not any better. Um, wow, healing Men's heart is not going to heal Volpe.
Oh, I don't I don't want to go that far. I mean, he's what, 23, 24 years old? He's still a baby. Like, I'm hoping that he can recover from this. And to Lori's point, he is a grown adult, right? Like, if you're injured, because I said the same thing about Aaron Judge. You know when you're injured. You have to speak up. So I do put part of the blame on Volpe, but it is disappointing to look at the Yankees medical staff and realize, like, if you deep dive into this kid's numbers, this could have been prevented. We've had Caballero since the trade deadline. He could have been our shortstop for a while now. You could have called somebody up from the minor leagues and put Volpe on the IL. Like, there are so many options that the Yankees didn't exercise. And part of me, I'm going to catch some hate for this one. Part of me feels bad for Volpe because how much pressure is the front office putting on Volpe to be the next big thing when that's not who he's cut out to be? Just let him be Anthony Volpe. Let him be that average player who shows up day in, day out when he's healthy. Like, don't push him to be more than he is. Like, I don't know. I feel like everybody kind of failed him this season. And now as a fan from like the outside looking in, it's very frustrating.
Yep. And Karen, I guess it's a sister thing, maybe. I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, when he leaves the ballpark, he has other people. I mean, I'm sure wherever he works out in his in his off time, he has trainers and all sorts of people. Aren't they telling him the truth at least? And maybe he's ignoring it. His mother, I mean, she knows that chicken parm isn't going to cure whatever a labrum is. So Karen, tell me later. I know it must really hurt. So
I guess
broken.
I guess just where I'm at right now as a fan is Volpe seems more human to me now, right? Like, over the last couple of weeks, it's been, oh my God, Volpe, you suck. I don't want you on my team. Get out of New York. I don't want to see your stupid face. And today I'm feeling like, oh my God, this poor kid, like, who is protecting him? Like, to healing Men's heart, I don't think he's ruined his career. But to his point, like, if you ruin your arm and you ruin your career, who was there to stop you? Who was there to help you? And I think the Yankees just have done a bad job with this entire situation. That's all.
This is why Mr. Rogers says, look for the helpers. Because of people.
Look for your safe adult, Volpe.
Seriously. And Donnie, right from the very minute of his first season, that became the talk. And that is so harmful. I don't know if the media is aware of it, but they do it, there's other instances of this that I could think of over the years. But, he came out of that bottle like, a genie blessing the world. And boy, we loved it until we didn't anymore. And that came pretty quickly. And they should not, and that might have broken him too, to just be compared to Jeter, who, was his hero growing up. So I don't know. It's sad. I hope he gets figured out and not by the clubhouse, or because he's young. He could really, turn things around and be what he was touted to be, unlike other people that we acquired that we'll probably talk about later. I have a feeling we will. All right. So anything else about Volpe, Sierra, before we move on?
We can move on.
Okay. No, that was a good cleanse, though. It was a good cleanse. And we definitely won't see him tonight. I don't understand. I don't know how serious a labrum is. First, I have to know what it is. I know it's, somewhere on in your arms somewhere. But
it's in your shoulder.
It's his shoulder? Okay. Then why aren't you on the IL? Why does the injury and transactions report before I came on say that he's still day to day. Why?
So I know depending on the severity of a shoulder tear or labrum tear in your shoulder, you don't necessarily have to have surgery, like if it's just a partial tear. But since we don't know the severity because we can't trust the Yankees medical staff, I guess to answer your question all around, I don't know.
Yeah. And Donnie Clark is saying labrum is a year. Okay. Okay. I didn't know that years get torn. Well,
watch. He's gonna freaking pinch hit tonight and hit a home run. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Or he's gonna pinch run and steal 2 bases. It's gonna be something crazy.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Oh, thanks, Karen. It's a hip injury. Okay.
I thought his shoulder was injured though.
So, oh well, Karen's saying the hip, and they either Coney or Kay or Girardi or all 3 of them at the same time have been saying that he's opening up his hip too much at the plate. So maybe that tracks. I don't know. So it's a
I got nothing.
Anyway, I hope he figures it out. We need everything we could get, but I'm certainly not mad at who's replacing him right now whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
And right now that would be my choice, Caballero. I like the heat. We need more of that heat. We have too much milk toast on this team. So all right, let's just start talking about some hotties and naughties, can we?
Sure, why not?
Why not? All right, so Sierra, you start the hotties.
Listen, Luis Gil is a hottie for me. He went out a little bit of a weird start, some wild pitches, a balk, a little crazy stuff, but he still gave the Yankees 6 innings, no runs, looked pretty damn good in my opinion. 4 strikeouts. I mean, he did get 4 walks, but nobody scored on Luis Gil. So shout out to Luis Gil, starting the Yankees off strong in Boston. He is getting a hot from me today.
Okay.
Yeah,
who else?
Yeah, I'll go down my list.
Go down your list. Yes.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. 2 for 4 on Thursday and Friday. 3 for 5. I wrote 3 for 6, but I definitely meant 3 for 5 on Saturday. He hit a home run and had 3 RBI yesterday. Also, just in general, over 162 games with the New York Yankees. Hold on. I dropped my phone. I bookmarked a tweet from Katie Sharp. She is phenomenal. He is among a list of greats with the Yankees who have hit 40 home runs in their first 162 games with the franchise. Babe Ruth, Jason Giambi, Aaron Judge are the 3 that I remember. There was about 2 or 3 more. That's a great group of people for Jazz to be there with. I joke around, obviously, sometimes I'm serious, about the Gleyber Torres situation. But overall, I think Jazz was a really good pickup for the Yankees. Yeah. I do still think I want to see him be a little more clutch in certain situations. But just as a whole, Jazz is he is meant to be a New York Yankee, in my opinion. And I love his feistiness. But moving on to the third and final hot for me, Aaron Judge went 3 for 4 on 9/11. Like I said earlier, kind of poetic. 2 home runs. And the reason I say it's kind of poetic is because 9/11 happened in New York. Okay, we all remember, even me who was a child, that first game after it happened and George Bush being there. It was just very somber and very like. I just remember how everyone treated each other the day after 9/11. It was just a different kind of atmosphere. And the Yankees went on to the World Series in 2001. Unfortunately, they didn't win, which still kind of hurts my soul. It just felt like because of what happened, they should have won that World Series, but it is what it is. So anyway, so now he's going to be the captain of Team USA for the World Baseball Classic, which I never thought I would see Aaron Judge participate in the WBC. So the fact that he's the captain and Paul Skeens is participating because of Aaron Judge, chef's kiss. Anyway, 2 home runs on 9/11. Let me just finish off that monologue. And he's also looked pretty good in this Boston series. I mean, again, 40 plus, another season of 40 plus home runs from Aaron Judge. The guy put up video game numbers all season. He got hurt, fell off a little bit, but came back. Like, who is he? This man is just like, he's not human in my opinion. And again, he is my MVP. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care that Cal Raleigh is a catcher. I really don't. No, overall numbers and what he means to his team, Aaron Judge is the MVP.
Yes, absolutely. I think he's going to get that third nod on that this season, or there will be riots in the street. So my hotties are. I'm going to let's see who I want to talk about first. Well, I'm going to talk about Bednar first because Donnie reminded me that I should have had him in my notes. He is the saving grace of that bullpen at the moment because when Luke Weaver makes me nervous, then I know there's more of a problem than I already knew there was. But here comes Bednar, who keeps his cool, keeps it steady, brings the fire, and look what he did for us yesterday. Really just held, who else was getting nervous towards the end of that game last night? It was like, oh no, they're not. Oh no, they're not going to do this to me. But Bednar put it all to bed for us, and so he's a hottie to me. I think Rice is a hottie for me because, that 3-run homer to start off the last game against the Jays didn't hurt things much, did it? So that made us win the series. We didn't sweep, but at least we took the series from our most worrisome team at the moment. But after that, this was borderline meh and hot for me because he was really useless against the Tigers. But then again, he also against the Red Sox, he went 2 for 3 with an RBI. I think that was Friday, and yesterday I didn't see anything impressive by him. So I need something between hot and meh. So I'll try to figure that out.
He's lukewarm.
He's Weaver warm.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, good. All right. Who's your naughty? Do you have a naughty?
I do. I didn't write them down because they just frustrate me so much that I didn't want to write it down. The bullpen in general. Now I know Bednar looked really good, and I know obviously this series specifically against the Red Sox, it hasn't been terrible. But look back to the Tiger series. Carlos Rodon gives you 6 innings of 2-run baseball. How did the Tigers end up putting up 12 runs? That doesn't even make any sense. Like it's not fathomable to me. But also, I want to put a lot of heat on the bullpen management because if you look at, there's no consistency. I remember last week you and I talked about this. Tim Hill, we did not see him from August 31st on. We just saw him for the first time Tuesday, September 8th. Okay? Why was there so much time in between the last time we saw Tim Hill and this time? I feel like that amount of rest is too much.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, I start thinking, oh my God, is he injured and they're just not telling us? But then you look at it in general, they don't have a place for Devin Williams. They don't really have a consistent spot for Duvall. Mark Leiter Jr., who freaking knows? Like, the bullpen management is hurting the way the bullpen is performing, in my opinion. So that needs to be figured out. So, again, I put that back on the coaching staff, back on the management staff. Harkey, you got to figure this out. When you get the call to the bullpen, you got to talk some sense into Boone and to everybody else.
Yep.
Because we need this bullpen to be the bullpen going into the postseason. That is your X factor. If they collapse after Carlos Rodon gives you a good 6 strong innings and they collapse, that's not okay.
No. And we were promised so much and we've gotten so little. I hate broken promises.
Yes, I agree. Also, a naughty for me. I mean, he's not in the lineup today, thank God. Ryan McMahon. again, I'm going to keep saying this until I'm freaking black and blue in the face. The New York Yankees ignored the third base hole in the offseason. And now the best option for them, because we started with Cabrera. He's injured, unfortunately. They tried Peraza. He can't hit at the major league level. Now we have McMahon because that was the best option available at the deadline. Well, not true. There was two options. They went with McMahon. And I'm sorry, his glove is okay, but his bat is not there. But I could have told you that before he got here. For an analytically driven front office, they ignored all of the signs for Ryan McMahon. The guy couldn't hit away from Coors Field to save his life. He could barely hit at Coors Field. So why did they think that he was going to be the saving grace? He's had a few good moments, but it's too inconsistent. And again, here we are. Since A-Rod, have not had a consistently good third baseman on both sides of the ball.
Yep. And the purses remain shut. And we'll be having the same conversation during the hot stove season that we've been having for years.
Mm-hmm.
So my naughty is Goldie. It's just no hits against the Red Sox. He went 2 for 5 in the one game he played in Detroit. And yeah, that lingering right knee injury thing that no one's talking about. That's a worry. Because why would he sit for the Jays if there wasn't something? So, but until the truth is told, he's my naughty. And I'm looking. What time is first pitch? It's not at 7, is it? I don't want to hold people up either, but we'll get through it. So let's go to meh.
Oh, it's at 7:10.
Oh, okay, we're good. We good.
Listen, it's already tough enough. I gotta watch the Yankees, watch Sunday Night Football. I have 4 fantasy football teams I'm trying to manage here. Like Sundays are crazy. Yeah, for me, let's not kill Sierra for this, but I'm with Cody Bellinger. So while Cody is still good, like he's not done anything wrong, and his defense is still obviously very elite. He's just kind of dipped a little bit in his stats, and he hasn't been in the month of September specifically. Like he just hasn't. He was hotter in August, in my opinion, but that's who Cody is. Sometimes he's streaky, and that's okay. For September, his on base percentage has dipped, and he's got a 237 batting average. But I have no worries. Again, he's not been bad. He wasn't good enough for me to make him hot this week. So right behind him, I have Ben Rice. Again, not been bad. He needs a little work at first base with his defense, and unfortunately, he gets very unlucky sometimes when he hits the ball.
Yeah, I noticed. Although Jazz's throws aren't always so spot on, Ben needs to know to sometimes extend his arm for a ball. So maybe he's just too used to being in that crowded box. It's kind of different on the bag. So hurts my heart, but Jazz is my meh. I have 2 mehs. One of them is Jazz. Because he was absolutely stanky against the Jays and not much better against the Tigers. So, I'm so glad he came through on Saturday. Yes, on Saturday, otherwise known as yesterday. Keep up, everybody. Really, Matt isn't right either because he's more than Matt. Look, tonight he could become a 30-30 Yankee. Because he's already done it for RBIs, and he's 1 home run away. And so what Aaron Hicks wanted the most in the world shall be Jazz Chisholm's. So he's going to be Mr. 30-30. And that sure isn't anything to sneeze with. And I didn't have time to look up how many Yankees have been 30-30 in the past couple of decades. But I don't think it's been such a very long list. So that would be a great badge for Jazz to get, and he's going to get it. And then Max Fried, because he was just giving away hits like free candy. Like, come and get it. Throwing the candy out on Halloween. Like, what was these 9 hits he gave up? Like, and to only go 5 1/3 just not acceptable for an elite starter.
Mhm.
So I hope it's really not. Is there a labrum in the thumb too that we have to worry about? Because I don't know. He just since that whole thumb gate, I'm not so sure.
Gate.
I'm not so sure what's going on with him.
So
However, as of last night, and somebody mentioned it in the chat earlier, sorry, shout yourself out. Um, he's leading the MLB with 17 wins, though. So hats
yeah,
off.
Carlos, or I'm sorry, Freed is leading, and Carlos is right behind him because Carlos was leading last week. It's kind of crazy. Um,
Yeah. And see, and I've been debating a few people, those Twitter polls that goes around who's your starter and etc. I put Rodon over Freed most recently. And it's like clutching of the pearls. What? Yes, Rodon over Freed. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right. So let's just move on to our hero. Did you ever know that you're my well, okay, so
well, let me let me just say about Jazz real quick. So his 30 stolen bases. I love that for him. About a month and a half ago, I was complaining about how the Yankees weren't letting him run, and it just seems like lately he's running free. If he hits a home run tonight and hits his 30th, I'm gonna scream. Like I'm just gonna be ecstatic, especially since we're facing Garrett Crochet tonight. And anybody can have a bad day, but Garrett Crochet is leading the MLB in strikeouts with 175. Not an easy pitcher. Could end up being rookie of the year. Or no, he's not a rookie. I just totally lied to you. He won't be rookie of the year. He could end up being the Cy Young winner for the AL. So if that's hit his home run off a guy like Garrett Crochet, would love to see that.
absolutely. And now I feel like it's going to happen. And I put this up for no other reason other than it was such a great shot. I just whoever, I don't know what newspaper guy got this or not, but I loved it. It's just I don't know, it just felt kind of iconic to me. You're welcome. Hope you enjoyed.
These guys are arguing about the Dallas Cowboys in the chat. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants today. Congratulations. Dallas Cowboys still suck. Nobody cares. Moving on.
Hey, this is a baseball show. Get with the program.
We only talk about Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. That's it.
Yeah, you can talk about that. But otherwise, eyes on Sierra, eyes on Lynn. Okay? Thanks. Okay. So
1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, 3, eyes on. Oh, you're speaking my pre-K language. Okay. Who's your hero?
I'm going with Luis Heel because typically we don't go with pitchers because you get 1, maybe 2 starts a week, just if depending on how the week works out. We were talking about the Yankees and the Red Sox rivalry. Luis Heel loves to beat up on the Red Sox. First 5 starts in his career versus the Red Sox, he has a 0.99 ERA. Lowest ERA by any Yankee in their first 5 starts versus Red Sox. Also, I just thought this was fun to throw in here. He is the first pitcher in the modern era, so that's since 1901, who allowed 0 hits, because we talked about it earlier. He went 6 innings, 0 hits. But he also threw 2+ wild pitches and had 1 balk. First pitcher in modern era to win a game doing that. And I don't know, man, just a weird start all around. But shout out to him.
It's so nice having Rookie of the Year Heel back. It really is. I'm here for it. Meanwhile, back in the chat, I feel like I am a principal again because Donnie's like, Sunil made me do it. I was talking Yankees, Lynn. I'm sorry if I was laughing while you're talking. I was listening. But
no, you're good.
They are cracking me up. All right. So, and Sunil, I didn't see you come in. Hey, Sunil and Sean, you've been here for a while, and sorry we didn't welcome you in. Welcome and almost goodbye, but so glad you're here. All right, so my hero is Aaron James Judge, and it's because within a few games, not only did he surpass Yogi Berra in number of home runs, but he surpassed Joe DiMaggio. So Joltin' Joe got beat by Jumpin' Judge. So here's my question to everybody. The numbers were very close between Berra and DiMaggio. So it's sort of a given that that's going to be, that's going to happen any day now for Judge. And it did. But now the gap between Judge and Gehrig is wider. So I did the math. Don't worry, I used a calculator, Karen. So Judge is at 362. Gehrig had 493. So Judge has to hit 132 home runs to get past Gehrig. Will he do that during the rest of his time as a Yankee?
How old is Judge?
32,
33? I think he's 33, right?
Is he 33 or 31?
No, he's either 32 or 33.
Should I ask Alexa? Go ahead.
Either way, we have like 8 billion years left on his contract. If he stays healthy, he gives us 40 plus a year. What did you say, 102? That's he can do that within
132.
132?
Yeah.
40, 80, 120. If he hits 40 over the course of over 4 seasons, he could do it.
Right. Okay.
He's not catching Mantle or Babe Ruth, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, Donnie. There's no way, because then the gap gets even wider after that.
Also, not to mention, so Judge is on that race, right? Mr. Giancarlo Stanton is on his home run race to make his way into Cooperstown. So we got 2 very exciting things happening on this team over the next couple seasons. Judge is trying to be 3rd on the list, New York Yankees all-time home run leader, and Giancarlo Stanton's trying to get into Cooperstown, and I think he could do it too because he's at 449 right now. So what's that, 51 to go? Let's do it.
They have to give him another year. I mean, it's written in the stars. He deserves it. So get the ring this year and give him that other year to get over the 500 line. Lori is saying, oh no, she believes in Judge much more than I do, that he'll wind up number 2 all time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Look, I'm picking up what you're laying down, Lori. I'll ride with you all day long.
So Mantle's at 536. Hold on. I'm not very good at math, so let me do this real quick. So that's 174 more home runs. So if he hits 40 a year, it would take him 4.5 years.
Okay. Yeah. So it could be done.
Maybe Lori's right if he stays healthy.
Okay. Listen, he's injured everything. He should be done now. He should be all good. So let's all just make it happen in our minds. Let's manifest it. All right. So what's next? Oh boy, what's next? We know what's next. We know what's in the immediate future.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Woo. Okay. So yeah, let's finish this off. Let's blow them out of their own damn house tonight. Then we have the Twins, and then yeah.
Yes. Yes. We have the Twins, the Orioles, the White Sox, and the Orioles again.
Yeah. So that's that. And as a very special treat, I'm going to put this down for a second. Ciara is giving us a trivia question. So we have a bonus trivia question, and we'll give you an immediate answer, and then we'll end the show like we always do. And you want to talk football in the chat? Here you go.
I don't even remember what question I gave. That's
okay.
All right, guys. So it is week 2 of the NFL. So I thought this was appropriate. So the 1958 NFL championship game, often called the greatest game ever played, took place at Yankee Stadium. Which 2 teams battled in that game, with one winning 23-17 in the first sudden death overtime in NFL history? Let's see. I already see a correct answer. Some of you should be ashamed of yourself because some of you claim to be fans of this team who is very bad. I'm just saying.
Woo! You're already shaming somebody. All right. With no other guesses. Oh, wait. Sunil guessed Giants and Colts and Cardinals. So that's the 3-way tie on Giants and Colts. You ready for the reveal, Ciara?
I'm ready. Baltimore Colts versus New York Giants. Woo! It was Baltimore back then.
Look at all the smarty pants in the house. So proud of you.
Very disappointed in Jordan and Jacob because they are supposed to be Giants fans and they did not. answer. Or
Well, but in fairness, it was a long time ago.
it was a long time ago. But hey,
it's okay.
Thanks for playing.
Okay. It's playing that matters. Okay. So, and let's refresh our memory on the Spencer's trivia question of the week. Spencer, if you're listening, thanks again. The Yankees just secured their 33rd consecutive winning season, a great accomplishment. The last game of their last losing season was on October 4th, 1992. Who was the team they played, and what was the final score? A little Jeopardy music in your head for a second? Tip me over, pour me out. Boom, boom. Okay. And the answer is the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox beat the Yankees.
Oh, Karen was so close on the score.
What?
Karen was so close on the score. She said Boston 7-3.
Karen. Wow. Look, to me, you got it right, kid. That's freaking impressive.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And Michael saying that he knew it even though he was too young to watch the game.
I wasn't even born yet, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, I may or may not have gotten my master's degree that year, but whatever. Okay. So, as always, chat, you know, where would we be without you? Hope we never know. Thanks for being with us every week. Thanks for coming into the dark with us through the month of September, and we might do a little poll, and so we'll see how things go. But as always, you know that you have a reserved seat with Sierra and me here on the upper deck. And turn on ESPN and let's go Yankees get the sweep. Bye.